I'm seeing a guy that's being patient. He's taking his time. He's letting the game come to him. He's not forcing things. I'm seeing a coach that's smart with his minutes and smart how he's utilizing him. A guy that's playing hard and a guy that has tremendous impact defensively, and he has things that will continue to travel well. His defense, his effort level is there. He's a fun guy to watch. And it was really fun to watch the matchup with him and Kevin Durant last night because you hear about the similarities, but, you know, he's obviously even taller and in longer limbs than even Kevin Durant. But Kevin, you know, he got an up-close and personal view of Wemby, and Wemby got an up-close and personal view of Kevin Durant and what makes him great and what has made him great in the National Basketball Association for as long as he's been in it. But I think he's going to be a fun talent to watch. I just hope people give him time to develop and don't put other people's expectations on him. You know, people will talk about the success LeBron had early and what, you know, and they'll always kind of put the next person's expectations on him instead of being patient and just enjoying this kid's development.
Yeah.
His development is on track. When I look at him, Skip, and running the floor and playing defense, and not even playing defense as hard as you might think because his size allows the shot trajectory to change no matter what. He puts that long paw up there, and the fingertip is a block shot. He had 4 blocks last night. So as time goes on, he's only going to get better. As they surround him with better players, and he really gets a true understanding of the NBA game. Because remember, he hasn't really played this type of basketball. So it's a little bit different. It's a growing process. And like Richard said, the expectations. I'm not worried about the expectations because I think over time, as long as Pop is there as the head coach, he'll bring him along slowly, just like he did with Tony Parker and Ginobili and all the rest of the guys he's coached. Kind of just bring him along. In the next 2 to 3 years, we'll be talking about something different. He needs to gain a little weight to me. He needs to stop turning the ball over. But all of those sort of things, I think, will work itself out. Dude is just, I mean, what can you say? You marvel at a dude that size shooting threes? Like, I've never seen, like Kevin Durant was a guy that you saw and say, why is he shooting threes? He's so damn tall. You need to be driving to the lane. But the skill set is there. And once he really learns the NBA game, he's going to be a force to be reckoned with for sure.
Okay, I'm going to restate what I first guessed on this. From moment one, I still cannot understand why at 7'4" and 8 feet long, Wemby just goes and camps on the perimeter every offensive possession. I've never seen anything like it. I hark back to the early days of Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Keyshawn, you and Richard obviously grew up watching Cap play for the Lakers. I saw him play at UCLA. I even saw clips of him playing at Power Memorial High School in New York. And again, he was freakishly tall. Kareem was at 7'2"-ish. I think it was 7'2". And yet, did Kareem ever go to the Never. He just camped in the lane because nobody could stop him.
But that was a game, I don't know, Skip. That was a game.
No, it wasn't a game.
That was a game. It's not the game now. They're shooting from the logo these days.
We've had 4 straight big guys win MVP in this league.
I understand that.
See how Joel
Embiid shoots from the 3, too.
Occasionally,
and so does
big man that can shoot threes.
Terrorize you in the post. And Wemby will not post up much at all. And he is always guarded by, quote-unquote, little guys. The opposing center rarely guards Wemby because why should you waste him? You want your center back in the lane. So at some point, he's got to quit falling so in love with the 3. He made 2 of 6 last night, but he's had some against Houston. He was 0 for 6. That's his favorite shot, and I want to see him go punish people. Eric Gordon was guarding him in the first half last night. Eric Gordon's about 6'5"-ish, maybe 6'4", 6'5". I'm saying, Wemby.
So you just want him to hold the ball up like this?
No. Just go down the lane and just say, give me the damn ball. Didn't you say that once upon a time? Just give me the damn ball. You can shoot little baby hooks over Eric Gordon. Nobody could stop you. They couldn't stop Kareem in the lane. He dominated college basketball at UCLA because nobody could. They just lobbed it into him, and he's just shooting little baby sky hooks.
But in this game of the NBA, you could do math. 3 is greater than 2, man.
I got
That's
it.
not
But
what
if you
they
can
do.
make 2s regularly, you're going to win championships. If you can make 2s,
yeah, but if your rear end, if somebody, if I don't know, let me just use PJ Tucker. If he's guarding him and he's pushing him out of there because his rear end has no weight on it, then you taking him away from his strength.
Yeah.
His strength obviously is facing the basket. It's not with his back to the basket.
Facing the basket from beyond the three-point line, because that's what usually happens.
Skip, that's the evolution of the game. I mean, it's just like the national. It's like football. Football, championship football was run the ball and play good defense. Now you got quarterbacks that throw it 45 times a game. It used to be unheard of. Everything evolves. This has evolved. Steph Curry, this is
every
Steph
time
Curry
Wemby
effect.
catches it beyond the three-point line, the defense is like, whew, we can deal with this, because you can't deal with him in the post because he's just too long and agile.
But he puts the ball on the floor and he gets to the rim.
Yeah.
You want him with his back to the rim. He's not a back to the rim guy, Skip.
Why not?
Because that's not what he's been doing.
I don't
You
care.
got to give it time if you want him to
I know
develop.
how you do this, and you can do this. Nobody can stop
Come on, Coach.
that. Nobody can stop
I understand what you're saying based on his length and his size.
Yeah.
But you also got to understand, okay, so if his back is to the rim and he's going up against the Joker, the Joker is he's not the greatest defender in the world, but he probably outweighs this kid by 75 pounds.
Jokers aren't guarding him. Little guys are guarding him.
Yeah, but I'm saying when you get...
because
Okogie
he's not
guarded
in the
him through
lane.
the first half. Okogie guarded him.
Because he's not in the
What's
lane.
Okogie?
Because he's not in the
6'7",
lane,
maybe?
Skip. If he goes in the lane and posts up they're going to find him. They're going to be guarding him in that point. So the reason they're getting those matchups is because he's on the perimeter.
And then you run two at him and blitz him. When you running two at him, now he's got to kick back out and hopes you got a shooter out there.
Okay, so let's take a quick look at the first half when he struggled against Kevin. And Kevin said, watch this, Rook. I'll show you who's Kevin Durant here. This is an early steal by Kevin Durant over in the corner. If we could start with this one. This is early in the game. And again, Wemby does turn the ball over too much because he dribbles a little too high. But how can you not dribble high when you're 7 feet 4 inches tall? But he's second in the NBA in turnovers. So he got the ball. He got his pocket picked by Kevin there. Now let's go to Kevin. Kevin's shot of the night was like a step-back baseline jumper over Wemby at full extension. Wemby goes straight up with him and timed it. And Kevin got the shot off up all over Wemby and made it. That was the shot of the night for Kevin Durant. Then Kevin got a running start dunk on him on an inbounds. This is another look at that. Kevin got a running start dunk on Wemby. And again, he had the advantage because you're in motion, but he just dunked on him, left-handed dunked on him, and got away with it. But Wemby came right back down on the other end, if we could see this. And Wemby says, okay, I'm going to put my head down this time, and I'm going to take it in and just go left-handed on Nurkic. No, I'm sorry, it was on Eubanks. It's 6'9" Eubanks, and he kind of threw it in left-handed.
Outside of the arc, it's crazy.
Yeah, he kind of just threw it, and it was kind of weird. Okay, now let's go to the end of the game, and Wemby has proven to me against Houston late in the game, and then last night, he is clutch. He is not afraid. In fact, he seems to get more energy late in games where it's like, do get out of the way and give me the ball. And he makes this shot. That was a big shot because that cut it to 3 at that point. And then now we've got if we can do the inbounds play here. This is Wemby, and Kevin does not block him out. We're going to have to see that probably one more time. This is what happens. And Kevin says, okay, the ball's going to be inbounded. Okogie hits Kevin, and Keldon Johnson just rips it right out of his hands. It could have been a foul, but they're not going to call it. And that was the game winner. So watch what happens in this play again. Kevin just doesn't block Wemby out. He just lets him run right past. Well, you can't do that. That's the game. That's the game.
So what are you getting at, Skip? Because you're getting at something.
Right.
No, I'm not
Go on
getting
and
at
get at what you want to get at.
Okay.
Because you keep saying he's clutch, he's this at the end.
Yeah.
What are you trying to say?
No, I'm trying to say that Kevin didn't block him out, or they would have won the game. Because
so are you trying to say Kevin is not clutch? Is that what
I'm saying Kevin, once again, as we saw against the Lakers.
Well, he didn't block him out because his back was turned. He didn't even realize he was going to come down the lane.
There is no Book, there is no Beal, and Kevin has to do everything, and he runs out of gas. And he looked like in the fourth quarter he was running on empty.
So he ran out of gas because he had to block a guy out who's 9 feet tall, who comes down the lane with his back turned, and then he gets trapped in the corner, the ball's taken from him.
You know basketball.
He ran out of gas?
You have to just turn and glance and see.
But
he's
looking at the shot. Yeah. He's waiting for the board to come down.
You have to block him out. You have to. That's
how am I going to block anybody out that's nowhere around me?
That's horrible.
He's not even anywhere around him.
He is too. He's right behind. He's guarding him. He's guarding him. You block the man out. You're guarding. Oh, you know
put
this
up.
better. Oh, stop it. Now you're arguing against air.
I'm not arguing. I'm trying to explain to you.
Okay, no,
Because
I'm
I see
explaining
what
to you because I know.
I see what you're doing.
I'm not doing
That's
anything.
why you showed a little
Kevin
clip of him
should have
getting
blocked out
trapped
Wemby.
in the corner.
You're going to let Wemby just lay it back in? Really? With the game on the
Wemby
line?
was almost at the
9
3-point
feet
line.
Tall,
No,
man.
you block him out. He's your guy. That's how you do it. That's how you play basketball. You block him out.
I can't block a dude out if I don't see him.
Oh, stop it. He's your guy.
My back
guy.
I just
Oh,
turned my
stop
back.
it. This is silly.
When the ball was in the air, Skip.
All right, and inbounds to Kevin, and he lets Keldon Johnson just come right around his back and rip the ball out of his hands.
So when he...
Even Kevin said after the game, I should have protected the basketball.
Yes, he had the ball here. He didn't know the dude was going to come from behind him and rip it out.
Okay, but you got to see him. He's Kevin bleeping Durant.
I told you he was headed somewhere.
All right, well, I don't
knew-
have to head anywhere. I think we saw it, and we saw it. They lost to the Spurs. They were up 20 with 7 minutes left in the third quarter, and they lost to the Spurs because they don't have Book and Beal. If they have Book and Beal, that could be a 40-point game.
Yeah, they just lost by 40 to the Clippers the other night.
Yeah.
So you're right, but they didn't lose by 40. They came back and won. But I mean, I hear the point you're making about the box out. I mean, technically, it's fundamental. You do that, but he got a foot on the three-point line. That's not necessarily what you're thinking in that scenario when a guy got a foot on the three-point line, like he's going to close the gap and get the offensive rebound and put it back up. I mean, that's not what I would be thinking, but I'm not a player in the NBA. I'm not an all-NBA player like Kevin Durant is. But, I mean, give him credit. Give him credit. He played well down the stretch. They played well as a team.
Yep.
Phoenix took their foot off the gas. They deserved a victory. That's a big win for them. They're 2-2. Phoenix has to get healthy, and I don't think Phoenix is concerned at all. But it's a great win for San Antonio.
Yeah, it's a growing win for San Antonio.
Remember what the Lakers did on opening night to Phoenix with just Kevin and no Book and no Beal? Remember what happened in the fourth quarter?
We had to play LeBron to win the game.
You did, and you won 33-19 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, we had to bring LeBron in to win the game.
Last night they lost 28-11 at home in the fourth quarter.
I understand that. And so you're trying to say that because it's the fourth quarter, Kevin Durant is not good in the fourth quarter is what you're trying to say.
He's been very clutch, but he's running out of gas without his two co-stars.
And that may be the case. That may be the case. Maybe they get in the fourth quarter and the shots aren't falling and things aren't happening. And if he had the two players out there with him, it would be a different fourth quarter. Does it take anything away from him, though? It just doesn't. LeBron James rested and came back in the fourth quarter. KD played basically the entire game, played 38 minutes.
Once upon a time, Kevin Durant would not have allowed that last night. Once upon a time,
KD got to be tired of this.
Yeah.
In Brooklyn, his two superstars were injured and left him hanging. In Phoenix, his two superstars is leaving him hanging. I mean, he got to be tired of being left as the only one out there putting on the show.
I would agree with
that.
I
would be.
Yeah. All right, up next, we go back to the Raiders. Josh McDaniels out. And the next Raiders head coach should be ... We debate.
Richard Sherman.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
Thanks for watching, Undisputed fans. Do you want more highlights from the show? Make sure to click that subscribe button for all the exclusive content from Undisputed.